two. All right, welcome to the weekly clarity call. Today is 20th January 2024, and we are ready to go. So this call is for you. This call has no specific agenda. I like to go with the flow, and it is primarily about talking about consciousness. This is not a session. This is facilitating your questions about your day-to-day or anything that you are stuck with or anything that you would like to dynamically improve in your lives. So I have a couple of friends with me on this call, and we are trying to build the call as per the question. So Michael, Gaurav, what do we want to talk about today? Any questions you have?
So should I say something first?
Yes, please, go ahead.
So right now I'm using Access tools. I'm just giving a brief of what has
Sure.
happened in the past couple of months with me. So I was not using Access for a couple of months, but
Yeah.
then something happens and Access just pulls me. Like the energy is like that, it pulls me that I have to use it. So and right now I'm using Access tools for the past few days, 24/7.
Mhm.
The thing with me is that the issue, the problem, whatever I'm creating and facing in my life is there is some emotional mental abuse like gaslighting and all that I'm afraid that could change into physical as well. So I'm afraid of that.
Afraid.
So I just
Okay, interesting word.
yeah yeah afraid, or I mean I'm threatened. I would say whatever. I mean you perceive the energy.
Mm-hmm.
So my question here is, I mean, okay, I'm using the tools, but what else should I mean choose or do, or I mean what steps should I take next to get
Okay,
out of this situation? And
thank you.
yeah, one more thing that
Thank you
I'm
for your
also right now
question.
currently not working and all stuff like that.
Hmm.
So what steps
Okay,
should
so
I take?
two things. Two things. You talked about being threatened, being gaslit, a lot
Yeah.
of things actually. You talked
Mm,
about being threatened, and then you talked about being gaslit. Then you also
mm,
talked about afraid. Okay, all these
mm,
words. And we will
mm,
we will un we will unfold it piece by piece or layer by layer, whichever way you would like to call it. Um,
mm,
First of all, you just mentioned that I had stopped using access tools. And now, when the
mm,
world is crashing all around me, I'm choosing to use the tools. No judgment, great. You wake up when you wake up. And
mm.
now you were saying that I am afraid. So, are you really using the tools? If you're an infinite being, first of all, truth, are you an infinite being?
I hear the voice no, but actually I am. But I don't know whose voice it is, entity or something, demon, human, kuch bhi hoga.
Okay. So, in that
So,
situation, first of all, you have to get clear of that. So, when you are
mm,
asking the question, who does it belong to? You get
mm,
an awareness that you
some
know
stupid
that you are an
demon.
infinite being and you are getting a response that you are not. So,
Mm,
you can choose to not be an infinite being by your unconscious choice. And that is when you
mm,
get a response that I'm not an infinite being. What is an infinite being? An infinite being is the one when you are being an infinite being, when you are allowing infinite, perceiving, knowing, being, and receiving. Okay.
okay,
In a phase of an unconscious choice, you can choose, you can choose, you can choose not to be an infinite being.
mm,
It depends upon the choices you are making. So when you use the word, I'm threatened, I'm afraid, I'm scared,
mm.
are you being an infinite being?
No, absolutely not.
So how do we change that? So the first thing that many people do, and again, I keep saying this and because I keep reminding myself, no judgment. If you are getting a sense that it is not you who is saying no to an infinite being question, the question you next want to ask yourself is, who does it belong to?
Okay,
Is it is it me? Is it the is it an entity? Who or what does it belong to? Is it an entity? Is it me? And what is required for this to change? These are two questions. Sometimes when you ask the question, who does it belong to? You might not get an energy. And that is the time when you ask, what does it belong to? Who or what? Sometimes you
okay,
get, and you just did mention the word entity. if you get an entity awareness, ask the question without a conclusion in your head. If you ask the question and even before you get a response or the whisper of the energy, you conclude, oh, must be an entity or something else, you will try to look for that conclusion in your question, even without looking at the information your question is providing. Okay? So, truth, who does it belong to? Work with it. Who does it belong to? Who does it belong to? Who does it belong? Sometimes you don't get a response in the first go. You ask the question quite a few number of times. So let's try this with you right now. Truth, who does it belong to? Everything they
Actually, I'm
brought up
getting
that now. Yeah, go ahead.
mm,
Go ahead.
I'm getting it's my voice.
Okay. You're getting your voice. Okay.
Mm.
So everywhere you have misidentified and misapplied the response that you're getting and trying to conclude or refusing to receive the awareness as to who it belongs to, do you choose to destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, online shows, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And now, if you're saying it's your voice, what is the next thing we can do? We can say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What does it do? It
Actually, I
contributes.
forgot what does it do.
Yeah. So when you do 1, 2, 3, you are giving away whatever you have locked into your body by absorbing other people's point of view. It is so strongly locked into your body. Now you don't even distinguish from it. Your infinite being has kind of made it its own. Okay. So if you have to let go of that and you're willing to let go of that, you do a 1, 2, 3, which is giving it away to Earth because she
Mm.
can take it away from you. 1, 2, 3 is for change. 1, 2, 3 is for change, massive change. So whenever you
Okay.
do 1, 2, 3, you're giving away whatever you're locked in your body and you're asking for change. Do not
Mm.
go into the judgment when you ask the question, who does it belong to? And there isn't an answer that shows up or a response that shows up.
Mm.
Continue running it till the time you feel lighter. Sometimes,
Yeah, that is what I'm doing right now. Actually, today I started it.
yes. So keep
Mm.
running it. Sometimes you do not get a name or an answer or a face. You run it till the time you start getting more useful information. And sometimes when you are not getting repeatedly information by asking a question, it is like banging your head on a wall, which is not
Mm.
parting. And that is the time you can ask, universe, what question can I ask that will give me clarity in this situation? What am I required to add? What am I required to remove? What am I required to change to get more information about whatever this is? Why am I saying this? Because sometimes you are unable to put words to the energy or the situation you are in. So even before
Mm.
we deal with the distractor implants, and if you do not know what a distractor implant is, the gift of distractor implants is to keep you distracted from your life. Okay, there are 32 of them. There's blame,
Mm.
shame, regret, guilt, there are a lot of them. Fear is one of them. It distracts you from creating your life. If you're truly an infinite being, can you be scared of anything?
No.
You contract yourself, you fit yourself into this reality, and that is where all of these things trigger you. Fear triggers you. You feel threatened. You're an infinite being. Can someone threaten you?
No, 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 no one can threaten an infinite being, that is for sure.
Okay. So when you work with that, the first thing to be able to acknowledge that is for you to be present with yourself. Most of the time, when we go into these distractor implants, we check out. We check out from being present. We check out from, we start operating from a head. We check out from being present in our body. So that's
Mm.
pretty much you putting your head in your backside. So it's garbage in, garbage out, garbage in, garbage out. And that is when you go into something called, I do not know whether you've heard about it, you might have, something called a presumptive reality. You presume the horror, the doom, the gloom, all the nonsense that can happen, which hasn't happened yet. But through your thoughts, you start creating them, putting them in the future. putting them in the future, just like you put gifts in the future, you put gifts under the Christmas tree, you're doing that in the future. And then when you reach the future and it happens, you say, see, I told you this will happen. It's called presumptive reality. You presume all the nonsense. You presume all the nonsense. That is the gift of distractor implants. It keeps you distracted from creating your life in the now and the present and receiving the gift of the choices you made in the present in the future. So first of all, who does it belong to? Second, when you get the information, keep running it. Parallelly, let's destroy all the distractor implants that you have made your own, that keeps you distracted from living your life and creating your future. So all the distractor implants that you have locked into your body, all the distractor implants that you are using to distract yourself from the life, living, and future you could be choosing, do you choose to destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all nine shorts, boys, bullets, and beards. All the lies of being scared, threatened, that you have bought, and also perpetrating it. Do you choose to revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, resign, reclaim, destroy, and uncreate it once for all and for all eternity? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, online shirts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And everywhere I am refusing to claim and own my potency, my brilliance, acknowledging my capacities that can create a greater life, living, and future for me. I choose to destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, online shirts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. You also mentioned that I am not working right now. So what talents, capacities, capabilities, competencies that you have that is so easy for you that you think it has no value? Everything that brought up and let down, you choose to destroy and uncreate it all, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, online shirts, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And what will it take for you to use the talents, capacities, strengths, competencies that you think has no value because it comes to you easily to create money and exponentialize money and to attract money and to attract infinite possibilities of quote unquote work, quote unquote job, quote unquote career with total ease, joy, and glory in faster and easier ways than you can even imagine. Everything that doesn't allow this to happen, all the big fives preventing it, all the electromagnetics preventing it, do you choose to destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah, yeah.
Right or not? Good and bad, pot and pop, online shorts, boys, bullets, and beyonds. You have capacities, competencies, and strengths. Unfortunately, what happens is we are typecast into you are good in this, you are an IT engineer, you are a software developer. We funnel our thought process saying that this is how we can only make money. This is true for business as well. This is my business. This is how I make money. This is the only way I make money. What will it take for you to ask the question, what else is possible? What are the infinite possibilities for me create money, wealth, and abundance in my life? What is the job that will be so easy for me? What is the job that will be so easy for me? What is the job that will be so ease-filled, joyful, enjoyable for me that will allow me to make quadrillion amounts of money? Universe, show me the infinite possibilities of creating quadrillion amounts of money with total ease, joy, and glory. Everything that doesn't allow me to know, be, perceive, and receive this information and to act upon it. Just not receive it, act upon it. I choose to destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, online shirts, boys, movements, and beyonds. What energy of joy, what energy of gratitude, how much more receiving can I have to change my reality? Everything that doesn't allow this to happen, all the electromagnetics preventing it, do you choose to revoke, recant, renounce, resign, reclaim, destroy, and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, online shows, boys, perverts, and beyonds. And Gaurav, what is the value of refusing awareness? What is the value of not asking questions? What is the value of holding on to distractor implants? Everything that brought up and let down for you, do you choose to destroy and uncreate it all?
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
1, 2, 3. Right and wrong, good and bad, God and fog, all natures, boys, poets, and beyonds. My friend, you have to start doing all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory every day, 20 times in the morning, 20 times in the evening. I'm giving
Uh,
you like a Dr.
I
Tina.
do it a lot actually. I have started
Yes,
doing
be
it few
present
days
with it.
back.
So a few
Doing
days,
it a
right?
lot.
Everywhere you are making time significant. Why is it not changing? Why is it not changing? Do not make time significant. Everything you
Mm,
have made vital, valuable, real, and significant about the construct of time that keeps you being present, that keeps you becoming needy and desperate, and keeps you judging yourself. Do you choose to destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online shows, boys, poets, and beyonds. Time is a construct of this reality. You have started
mm.
using the tool every day. How does it get any better than this? What else is possible? What is possible for me that I have never considered possible, that if I consider the possibility will change my reality? Everything that doesn't allow me
Yeah.
to know, be, perceive, and receive the infinite possibilities available for me. I choose to destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, online shows, boys, poets, and beyonds. And perceive, know, be, and receive what I refuse, dare not, must never, and must also perceive, know, be, and receive. That will allow me total clarity and ease with the job, with the work, with the engagement, with the business. That will be fun for me. And that will create money for me, that will be joyful for me. Everything that doesn't allow me to know, be, perceive, and receive this information and to act upon it right now, I choose to destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, online shows, boys, poets, and beyonds.
Yeah, I will watch this recording again and write down all the things and use it.
Yeah, there's a lot of clearing that's here
Yeah, a
that
lot
can
of
help not
places.
only you. And thank you for the question. That is why I say that these questions create the call for everybody else also. The ones who are listening to it, who are not here, they can also benefit from it. Yeah, to run with it, Gaurav, and keep running the process. What infinite possibilities are available for me that I'm unwilling to look at? Keep asking that question. And the more you will ask the question, the more you say that I'm willing to receive more, you will be able to get the whispers of various things that you can attempt, various things that you can play with, various things that you can experiment with. Clear your distractor implants. Do not let them distract you from creating your life.
Yeah, what infinite possibilities?
You can
That
listen to recording. What infinite possibilities are available for me that I'm refusing to look at? I don't know whether
okay.
I said the exact same words last time, but then the recording, you can look at it and you can use it. Okay?
Yeah,
Play with it. And let's see in the next weekly call where you've reached what is there,
yeah,
some change, or you're struggling with something else. And if you get a very strong statement saying that it's an entity awareness that's keeping you distracted, then you can also do the entity clearing.
entity clearing.
Okay? Then
But
you can. Yeah.
yeah, just a little input I would want to give is one is I'm using the who does this belong to? I just started it today, so I feel matlab, I have used it earlier as well, but I didn't give it a long shot. Like I did it three days, couple of times, but not almost all the time. So I have now got the awareness that I mean access is a lifestyle. You have to use it 24/7. You can just
Yes.
there is no
You have
milestone
to
that you have
be
to
the
reach.
tool. You have to
Yeah,
be the tool.
you
You
have to
don't
be the
use
tool
the
and use
tool.
the
You
tool.
don't test the tool. You be the tool. And when you be
Yeah.
the tool, and if you use who does it belong to every hour, there's an app that you can download. Dane has an app on his website. It reminds you every
Mm,
hour a question, who does it belong to? All thoughts,
mm.
feelings, emotions, everything else that you're using that keeps you distracted from your life. You'll clear it. If you do it for one whole week, your life will dynamically change. Because
For
then
one,
you're not being a giant sponge which absorbs all the thoughts, feelings, emotions from everybody else, all the lies people are projecting at you. Okay? All the reality benchmarks, reference points that everybody is creating from. And then you look at it and say, oh my God, I'm not doing that. I should do that. Oh, this guy is so much better than me. I should do that. Oh, I'm such a loser. I should do that. I think I should give up. All those thought processes are going on in somebody else's head. So when you say who does it belong to every hour and you send it back, so how do you do the who does it belong to process? Okay, I'm doing this. Listen to it carefully. Truth, who does it belong to? Who does it belong to? Who does it belong to? Send it back to whoever this belongs to originally, with consciousness attached, never to return back to me or this reality ever again. Everything that doesn't allow me to send this back, everything I've created and uncreated with the presence of this, I choose to revoke, recant, renounce, resign, reclaim, destroy, and uncreate it all. Everything that doesn't allow this, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pork, online shows, boys, poets, and beyonds. Notice there are 3 segments to who does it belong to. First, you ask the question with truth so that you get the information. The energy comes up. Then you send it back with consciousness attached, requesting never to return back to in this reality or any other reality ever again, or my body ever again. And the third part is you are destroying and uncreating. Whatever you have created with the presence of whatever that was in your reality. The 3 parts to it, do all of them simultaneously. It is a little tedious. It is a little tedious to say that bigger statement every time, but if you do it with presence, it will clear like you go out gardening. You take a spade, you pick up the soil, you throw it away. You pick up the soil, you throw it away. There are multiple layers of judgments that you put on yourself, and then you hide yourself beneath it. Who does it belong to? It might be very devious. It might be from previous lifetime. It can be from mother, father, brother, sister, from anybody. But when you start destroying and uncreating everything you have taken off from those people and locked in your body, slowly the real person who is beneath all of that, your being will start showing up.
Yeah.
So one more time, truth. Who does it belong to? Who does it belong to? Who does it belong to? Send it back to whoever this belongs to originally, with consciousness attached, never to return back to me or this reality ever again. Everything that doesn't allow this to happen, all the big files preventing it, and everything I have created and uncreated with the presence of this in my life, I choose to revoke, recant, renounce, resign, reclaim, destroy, and uncreate it all, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pop, online shows, boys, poets, and beyonds. And at the end, if you feel still heaviness, just do 1, 2, 3. So that it changes, so that it changes, so that it changes. You have the gift of freedom of choice. You can choose every 10 seconds. If something is not working for you at this point in time, you can always choose something different. And every choice you make, don't judge it as good or bad or right and wrong. Just look at it as a choice that didn't work out and then move on. And if it did work out, what else is possible? How does it get any better than this? What else is possible? How does it get any better than this? Run with that, Gaurav. Run with that for a few days. And then next Saturday we talk. We will see where you go. And in case you're struggling, does it help?
Absolutely, it helps a lot. I mean, yeah, it helps me a lot. Yes.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Questions? Michael, Miriam.
More of a sharing kind of than kind of a question.
Yes.
What's kind of interesting is that I attended BeingYOU kind of sort of changing the world. I kind of previously kind of did kind of foundation class and sort of bars. So I'm familiar with who does it belong to, but interestingly, I've not added the rest of it in terms of more kind of truth. Is this to truth? Kind of, is it mine? Truth, is it somebody else's? Is it something else's? And then just sort of, you know, return to sender with consciousness kind of attached. And I shall attempt to kind of listen to kind of the recording just to write down, say, the other kind of questions, because it's interesting. But even just the kind of very basis or the basics of truth, who does this belong to? Truth, isn't mine. And I tend to kind of use that kind of tool a lot, even just in the point of truth, is this mine? No, return to sender with, you know, sort of consciousness attached. But what my question or questions are surrounding having kind of asked or kind of stating kind of question in terms of kind of opportunities. And often what I found is that this is light, or this is, you know, this is light, or even if I can choose this, kind of what will my life be like in kind of 5 years' time?
5 years, 10 years,
yeah. And found that I've signed up for different kind of academies, and then sometimes, or kind of in my recent kind of experience, I have found, okay, that was light then, but actually now it's not light, or that I've placed it kind of on hold because it's not been, I've not been finding the essentially kind of what's required to either, oh, that requires kind of a limited company, and therefore, you know, kind of I require kind of £600 that I don't have. And very recently, I have attended kind of a job fair and looking at kind of what else can I kind of do in terms of supplementing my income, even just for sort of a part-time job to do on the weekends, which would entail me working 6 days a week as opposed to kind of 5. And what's fascinating is that at the job fair, I spoke to kind of one of the kind of work coaches, and was reintroduced to the concept of becoming kind of a work coach, which I have previously attempted to kind of go down the route of. I haven't found the opportunity as yet, because this, you know, I attended the kind of the job fair on Thursday. It's kind of now kind of Saturday. I actually have applied for essentially kind of a job to kind of sort of do kind of on the weekend. But just interestingly, as much as I had spoken to my kind of manager, and I'd spoken to her on a couple of kind of occasions, but she just asked me the question, are you going to kind of the job fair for the purpose of a replacement job, or kind of, or is this kind of additional? And I kind of assured her that it's additional. However, I spoke to one of the work coaches by the name of kind of Kaylee, and Kaylee kind of stated, oh, just to make you aware that there is another kind of work coach campaign that is about to kind of run, so just keep an eye out on civil service kind of jobs. And what was fascinating is that I kind of recently heard a statistic that certainly in the kind of UK, the required amount of money, I mean, I appreciate that this is kind of a reference point, but the required kind of amount of kind of money in terms of kind of annual kind of income is 27 kind of thousand. And at the moment, my current kind of full-time kind of job is, call it 22. So I'm kind of looking at, okay, kind of like another part-time job to just up it. And then I'm told by Kaylee that the present salary for the work coach is 29,500. So, but it just, at the moment, it's there are a lot of things that I can be kind of doing. I appreciate the kind of concept of just clearing everything kind of in terms of being out of control, specifically as relating kind of time, and as relating being able to kind of sustain kind of question for kind of what would contribute most effectively from, you know, sort of life living kind of and loving. But I think the kind of the central kind of component is I have been staying in question, but just the concept of joined an academy in terms of property trading, but the concept was actually let's put that on hold because that's not liked for me. And then the kind of concept of kind of just a, kind of another academy, and equally that point of going actually to do more, this isn't, so let's just put that kind of on hold. And then even to the kind of concept of something relating kind of trading, and even just the concept of being able to do small amounts of time in terms of kind of weekdays, and then even to the concept of getting kind of the opportunity to do 5 days of training, which I'm doing kind of Wednesday to kind of Sunday of kind of next week, which then on top of that, if I do 12 case studies, I get the qualification of NLP master coach. So I've said a lot, but the concept of what I'm basically saying is that there is a lot kind of going on. I am using kind of the tools of access consciousness, which are massively kind of contributing. But it's potentially what might additionally kind of contribute.
So let's dial it back. And you said a lot, and I appreciate your vulnerability and sharing that with me. And for us, God was also listening. So the first thing that you said, and I'm going to dial it back because we're writing it down.
Yes. You
said, I'm going to attempt to listen to the recording of the call. What is attempt?
It is a judgment, or it's a conclusion, or
it is a conclusion that, I will not have the time, but I will attempt.
Yes.
So let us kick that out from your vocabulary.
Yes.
I will attempt is something similar to I will try. When somebody says, Michael, I'm going to try that for you, basically the person is saying, pretending that he will do something, but he won't. That's the same thing you can apply on yourself. I will attempt to. No, I will or I won't. Or I don't want to go into conclusion at that point in time. I'll ask the question, what do I require to hear right now? Do I need to hear the clarity call? Do I need to hear some other recording? Whatever will contribute to me. So saying that I will attempt to is not a commitment. Okay, so we will change our language. We will never say we will attempt. Either we will say we will do it, or we will not commit to it. We'll say we will follow the energy. Okay, language has a huge role to play as to how we shape our life.
Yes.
So we will change our language, and then we will change the vibrations of everything around you that will contribute to you. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing you said, I put it on hold because I want to. So you have this categorization of I would like to have this much amount of money, and there is this whole conversation about what are the few things you are trying, what are the few things that you have already concluded will take more time of yours. So all the projections, expectations, separations, judgments, rejections, decisions, conclusions, calculations, computations you have about what opportunities will or will not work for you. Will work for you, will not work for you. You'd like it to work for you, you won't like it to work for you. You would definitely not consider, do you choose to destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, conscious, voice, poets, and beyonds. Then, when you're in a situation where you are here and you want to be here, basically, very simply, if I had to read, and I know it might be way more complicated when I sit at your place because you're looking at these things. For example, you said this will make small amounts of money. Again, that's a conclusion. That's a conclusion. And that's why I'm saying that let's destroy and uncreate all the projections, expectations, separations, judgments, rejections, decisions, conclusions, calculations, computations about everything that you're thinking about. When you clear that up, it's like you are clearing up all your mental clutter. And then you're asking the question, What energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, miracle, mystery, possibility, power, and potency can I and my body be to be out of control, out of definition, out of limitation, out of form, structure, significance, out of linearity, out of concentricities, about creation of wealth with total ease for all eternity? Everything that doesn't allow that to happen, do you choose to destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online shows, boys, keywords, and beyonds. This takes you out of all these reference points in the world. Oh, this has to be 27,000. Oh, this will create small amounts of money. Oh, this will make me do extra number of hours, or I will have to work extra number of days, and it's not going to complement to me. All presumptive realities. All presumptive realities, all presumptive realities, judgments, conclusions that are not allowing you to ask the next question: what is possible for me that I have not considered before? What will be fun for me? What will be so easy for me that money will just come to me? That's a fantastic question. Universe, show me which possibilities will be so easy for me that money will just come to me like this, like the snap of my fingers. Ask simple questions. Ask simple questions. Especially, this is a very critical question you're asking. It's a funny that I'm actually doing January, February, and March as the season of money, wealth, and abundance. And a money question has come up. And it is intertwined with your career aspirations, what you would like to achieve in your life. And you're on the journey. The whole idea is that keep asking for different ways to bypass this whole structure or system of, oh, this has to meet this. You have to have that much as a salary requirement. What can you be and do different to totally destroy all the systems and structures that keep you from accessing what you would like to access? And how do you do that? You do that by being an infinite being. Yes. You do that by looking for possibilities. What else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible? How can this be easy? Now, if I had to sit in your place and say, oh, I will give you the solution to all your problems. No, first of all, it's not a problem. And second, it's a situation where you're stuck at and you want to get unstuck. So everything that you are being and doing to uninvite money from your life, everything you are being and doing to buy the lies and definitions of how you can create money and how you cannot create money, do you choose to destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and book, online shows, boys, poets, and beyonds. And simple, what can I do today that will invite infinite amounts of money into my life right away? Everything that doesn't allow me to know, be, perceive, and receive this, I choose to destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online shows, boys, poets, and beyonds. So when you begin the morning and you look at all these various options that you're saying, I put them on hold, you simply say, okay, I put this on hold. What would it take for me to have a look at this now? Because you just mentioned that when I signed up, it was light for me. Now it is not. The beauty is you have choice you choice every 10 seconds. And it's amazing. Say, how does it get any better than that? Because the universe is giving you the awareness that at that time you had created a reference point that I will do this and this will happen and then this will happen and then this will happen and it will work out. You woke up in the morning and suddenly you're like, that's not working. This is all right. That allows you to course correct. It allows you to course correct. It's okay. That is not working for me. What else is possible? And when you ask for energy contributions from the universe, you ask, universe, show me in a way that I get it because I'm stupid. You can be vulnerable with yourself. I say it all the time. Show it to me in a way that I get it because I'm stupid. Because sometimes there are whispers of various possibilities, but we completely reject it because we think it will not work. Where does the thought come from? From this thing. And where does this thing get those thoughts? From experiences in this lifetime. The brain, many people say, oh, thinking is stinking, shut your brain, don't think. Well, your brain in its own way, it's a part of your body. It's trying to help you with the information that it has. It's trying to caution you, trying to make sure that you don't trip on yourself. So it's telling you, hey, last time you tried this, this happened. Don't try it this time. Say thank you, brain, for providing me that information. But I would like to be the infinite being I am and ask a question, will it work for me this time? Let's use a funny example. You are heating up something on your hob. and you go and touch it and you burn your fingers because it's hot. Next time, the moment you will look at the hob, the moment next time you will see something boiling there, your brain is going to say, oh, you're going to get burned. Hey, don't go there, Michael. You're going to get burned. But you have the awareness of the last episode and you've known, your body knows how to react to it. Sorry, your body knows how to respond to it. So you can make the choice of, that's all right. I did that last time. Thank you, brain, for the information. I will be more cautious this time. This is how I'm going to deal with it. It's, again, like I said, it's a silly example, but that is how you bypass the brain. You thank the brain for giving you the information that allows you to navigate this reality, but you ask questions every time when you're trying to look for an opportunity. So I know it's a long-winded response. Did it help?
It did. What I will do is listen to the recording and just because yes.
How much fun can I have today? How much more fun can I have today? How much more can I relax today?
Yes.
What would it take for me to stop thinking and start being? What would it take for me to stop thinking, evaluating options, and start being? Yes. Where is my attention required today, right now? Whom can I talk to? Whom can I connect with? What magic of instant actualization I can be to attract the people who will contribute to me? What magic of instant actualization I can be to attract the people who will contribute to me? So ask the universe for people to show up in your life, opportunities to show up in your life that will make this super easy. Yes. Super easy. And you don't have to conclude that you have to become a work coach. Say, what else is possible that is super fun for me and will make way more money beyond my imagination than I've ever made in any lifetime? The thing is, with these questions, people often get lost in the language. They say, oh my God, I don't know how to ask that question. That's okay. Ask a simple question. What can I be and do different to create so much money that I've never, ever created that in any lifetime? What will it take for my greatness to show up? What will it take for me to show up in my life? Most of the time, because we're evaluating options, we're looking at reference points. We're trying to say, okay, this is a possibility, that is a possibility. We are not asking for those possibilities that you know there are there, but you can't see them. So instead of staying inside your head and having this personal conversation and evaluation, what would it take for me to be present? Be present. Where is my attention required today at this point in time? What are the 3 actions I can take? What choices can I make? What actions can I take that will change my reality, change my financial reality? What can I be and do different, which will be super easy and super profitable for me? So there are various combinations, Michael. And again, you will have to follow your own energy of clearing that.
Yes.
Every question will give you a new set of information. Again, no evaluation. Simply say, okay, what can I do with this? What is this? What can I do with this? Can I change this? How can I change this? 4 questions to create your life. What is this? What can I do with this? Can I change this? How can I change this? And that's, again, it's in Dane's book. You keep going at it. You keep going at it. And once you know what you really would like to, so that question will change your reality. What can I be and do different that will be super fun for me, super relaxing for me? For example, having this conversation, people are like, oh my God, you are doing this call. For me, it is relaxing because that's something that I enjoy. I have fun with it. So it's not stressful anymore. So is being a work coach fun for me? Or have I concluded it's fun for me? So ask that question. There's no right or wrong answer. Being a work coach, is it going to be fun for me? Universe, show me. Will it make me money? Now, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 25 years? Will it make me money?
What's fascinating is that's really light. But what was fascinating is at one point I had a conversation with my work coach, and there was perhaps a kind of a judgment or even a kind of reference point
Uh-huh.
of that I would be effective working for HMRC and not kind of working as a kind of work coach, because actually, to be fair, it's not relevant to kind of to go into kind of all of it. I get where she was going with it, but what's fascinating is the other kind of work coach who just said that there's the campaign kind of starting, that the first time that I saw her, and it was at another kind of job fair, and she told me, you know what, you would make a fantastic kind of work coach. So it's just interesting that from two different kind of work coaches, there was a yay, and then there was also kind of a nay.
So what's true for me?
Yes.
What's true for me? What's true for me? What's true for me? So next time somebody is projecting something like, oh, you cannot do that. Oh, you can do that. Both of them are polarities.
Yeah.
Like you said, a yay or a nay. What is true for me? What is relevant at this point in time?
Yeah.
So today you are looking at this possibility. Tomorrow you might be doing something way more or multiple things at one go, which is not right for you right now. It can be right for you at that time. Is it relevant now? No. Is it relevant there? Yes. So it can change. So all the projections, expectations, separations, judgments, rejections, decisions, conclusions, calculations, computations, other people around you are projecting at you, that you're making them your, and then evaluating them and wasting your productive time that you could use for doing something else. You choose to destroy and create it. Right and wrong, good and bad, hot and cold, online shows, boys, favorites, and there's all the lies people are selling you about what you can do, cannot do, should not do, will not do, how your future will not be, can be, cannot be, should not be. Do you choose to revoke, recant, renounce, resent, declaim, destroy, and uncreated once for all and for all eternity? Right and wrong, good and bad, hot and cold, online shows, boys, favorites, and parents. You know what is true for you. Nobody else knows it. And when you know that, you just hold on to that, and then you start building you just start climbing the ladders. Interestingly, the middle steps will start vanishing of your ladder. So you will go from 2 to 20 to 2,000 to 2 million. Because now you're doing something which is true for you. And you have no judgment of yourself. Oh, I stumbled. Okay, what else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible? What else is possible? And it will become easy. The more you practice it, it will become easy. I was telling Gaurav the same thing that I'm telling you. Be the tool. And when people come back and tell you this, oh, you won't be good in this, you should try that. Interesting point of view. You have this point of view. Don't say that. Say it in your head. Interesting point of view. She has this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view. Interesting point of view. I have this point of view that she has this point.
Yes.
And it doesn't come from the space of, oh, F you. You have this point of view. I'm fighting. No, you're not fighting. You're being an allowance of everybody having a point of view about you. It's all right. You were entitled to your opinion. And I don't have to fight it. I don't have to align with it. So I don't have to align or agree, resist or react. I just have to be. Being is not inaction. Being is being present and knowing what is true for you and continuously working towards it bit by bit, bit by bit. And that is, you don't offend anybody. So when I started using this tool, I used to say, interesting point of view. She has this point of view. And I did it not from a space of allowance. I did it from a place of F you. And then I realized that is not contributed to me, because then I started doing things just to prove the other person wrong. You don't want to do that. You want to do what is true for you, no matter who thinks what about you.
Yes.
So what are the few things that I can do which will make me shit ton of money with the least amount of work required? Not having to work 7 days a week, not having to work extra hours. And even if it does initially, I don't have a point of view about it.
Yes.
So what is it that I need to be into different to do whatever is required to be done to have what I would really like to have as my reality? Break all those barriers, put your barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, barriers down about work hours, work days, number of number of different assignments that I can do, cannot do, will not do, should not do. Get out of that. Say, this is where I want to be. Whatever is required for that, I'm willing to do it. Universe, help me. And the people will show up for me. See, I like that. You're smiling.
I am most grateful that Morgana, kind of Marie, assisted me to kind of join this call.
Of course. Does it get any better than that? About it?
Yes, absolutely.
Keep at it. I'll talk to you again next week just to find out where did we go, and we'll keep following this up. Don't worry.
Okay.
Kamal, hi. Saw your hello message in the chat, my friend. Hi.
Hi.
Question.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. The question is that as far as the money creation is concerned, I am lagging behind. Like the energy of the talk which we're doing with him just now. I think somewhere it applies to me also, that I am not able to establish till now that what is true for me for creating anything, and what is light for me, what are the different options available to me, where I can create way lot more money, and that too with ease, joy and glory.
Okay.
So that energy is not showing up. Like whenever I ask, my ask is there. Universe, show me. So what do I do? What do I clear so that I get that energy?
That one question. What talents, capacities, capabilities do I have that comes to me so easily that I think it has no value? Everything that doesn't allow me to know, be, perceive, and receive this, I choose to destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, bottom up, online shows, voice, provides, and beyond. Second question. What is it that will contribute to my financial reality that I'm unwilling to look at? What am I avoiding? Everything that doesn't allow me to know, be, perceive, and receive that, I choose to destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, bottom up, online shows, voice, provides, and beyond. What is it that I'm unwilling to know, be, do, ask for, create, generate, actualize, receive, and have that will give me the financial reality, that will create for me the financial reality that I've been asking for? Everything that doesn't allow that to show up, everything that brought up and let down, all the big fives preventing it, all the electromagnetics preventing it, I choose to destroy them. Right it all, right and wrong, good and bad, bottom up, online shows, voice, programs, and beyond. And the biggest one, I think you should run this like in a loop 100 times. Perceive, know, be, and receive. What I refuse, dare not, must never, and must also perceive, know, be, and receive. That will allow me total clarity and ease with the job, with the work. That will be fun for me and will create increasing amounts of wealth continuously for all eternity with total ease, joy. Everything that doesn't allow this to happen, all the big fives preventing it, I choose to revoke, vacant, renounce, resign, declare, destroy, and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, walk online, shows, voice, run this 100 times. 100 times, because what are you asking in this question? It's not the language. It is about getting clarity. You want to get clear as to what is it that job, the work, the assignment, the business, the creation that will be fun, relaxing. It will create money, not right now, like tons of money and then boom. You want increasing amounts of money continuously for all eternity, not for this lifetime, but future lifetimes as well. Because whatever we are creating in this lifetime, the consciousness and everything else is not for only this lifetime. It is also for future lifetimes. So some of us will not have our bodies in 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, but we are still working on consciousness. We are still working on things that will create for the future. So run this 100 times. Perceive, know, be, and receive. What I refuse, dare not, must never, must also, perceive, know, be, and receive. That will allow me total clarity and ease with dash. This is for everybody who is listening now, who will listen in the future. When you put a dash, you can put anything in it. You can say body, you can say job opportunity, you can say food, you can say relationship, anything. You can put it there. It will give you, this question tricks your brain to shut down and allows the awareness to come to you as to what is true for you, what is relevant to you, what will contribute to you. And then the job is making the choice, taking the action. What choices can I make? What actions can I take? What choices can I make? What actions can I take? And what commitment do you have to not receiving awareness? What do I hate about receiving awareness? What do I love about staying unconscious? Trick yourself into this question.
Okay. That is quite light.
And keep destroying and uncreating it, destroying and uncreating it.
Okay.
We choose to be not
Unconscious.
conscious. Yeah. So in case you're seeing that again and again, it's a pattern. One of the things you can do is do some tens. 10 is the photon wavelength energy, not particulates. So conscious, unconscious, conscious, unconscious, conscious, unconscious. To stay conscious, do some tens. It allows you the communion with Earth, your body, with the universe. And then you become this flow of energy where consciousness comes easily.
Great.
And then you can suddenly see what is true for you. And then you latch onto it and you keep working at it. Do not play zero-sum games. So when you start working on it, you take 3 steps forward, 2 steps backward, 5 steps forward, 9 steps backward. So the zero loop keeps going and you're constantly in a race to catch up. So when you know what's true for you, keep running forward, 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 forward. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Guys, top of the hour. Truly, truly, truly enjoyed talking to all of you. I'm going to put it on YouTube for all of you to listen to it later. Yes, Gaurav, go ahead. Last question.
Yeah, just a small question.
Yes.
Actually, I told you the abuse thing right in the starting of the call. So
Yes.
I have this, this feeling that whenever the people are talking around me, I feel like that they are taking the energies of my body.
Can
This
they
is,
take
I guess,
energies
it's a
of your
small.
body? Can they take energies
Yeah,
of your body? You're an infinite being. Is there a shortage of energy?
if I say, yeah, I was about to, I was saying this thing to me that I'm an infinite being and there is no shortage of energy in my body. So yeah, the answer to your question, yes, no, there is no shortage of energy.
So first of all, what conclusions do you have about all these projections and lies people have about you? Why is it impacting you? So just like I said to Michael,
Mm.
is it relevant?
There
Is
is a
it
trigger that I
relevant?
have, no?
First of all,
They
yeah,
are triggering that trigger. So I have to get
yeah,
rid of
that's
that.
interesting point of view. They are entitled to have their point of view. They're entitled to call you any names that they want to. What is true for you? And don't fight it if they're sucking energy. So there are different kind of people push energy towards you. They pull energy from you. There are various kind of entities who will push or pull energy. Now you are an infinite being. You can push. If people require energy, if they're sucking energy, give them as much energy they want. If they are putting up a wall and barrier, it's all right. It's their choice. You have to be present and knowing that anybody's opinion about you does not make you something different. You are what you are. But you have to trust yourself. All of these things are the gifts of judgment that causes you to fall into the trap of second guessing yourself, doubting yourself. Trust yourself. Know you are enough. And then whatever people say is no longer relevant. You are willing to ask the question. Instead of getting distracted, you're willing to ask the question, what is required here? In faster and easier ways, how can this change? And you make a demand of yourself that this has to change. Show me what is possible for this to change in faster and easier ways. Don't get desperate if it's not happening, but make a demand of yourself. And then you keep working at it. You keep working at it. Be present at all times. Don't fall into the trap of this person is saying this about me, that person is saying that about me. It is not right. Interesting point of view, they have this point of view. See, the joy of interesting point of view is you don't have to use the clearing statement. It's like when a cough or a cold sets in, if you take your medication right at the first day, the moment you realize, oh, I got it, you do not have to go through the whole exercise of taking antibiotics and cough syrups and getting into the trap of fever, and all your body doesn't have to suffer. So interesting point of view is like, there's this thing coming at me which can impact me. Even before you lock it into your body and you're required to clear it using a clearing statement, you are done. The moment you say interesting point of view, it is not locked into your body. So you're saved the trouble of having to clear it. So when something is coming towards you, say interesting point of view. I have this point of view, interesting point of view. They have this point of view, interesting point of view. I have this point of view, that they have this point of view. Interesting point of view, they have this point of view, that I have this point of view. Clear it then and there. Because when it gets locked, then you have to work harder to clear it using the clearing statement again and again and again, because everything that gets locked creates something further. And it creates more and more layers, which you have to then clear. Okay? Run with this tool. These are the 10 keys to unlock your life. The 10 commandments, demandments, whatever you want to call it. Access 10 keys. Now, this is, Simone calls it baby access. Most of the time, when you go through these complex problems in life, you resort to the baby access. Basic tools. Who does it belong to? Interesting point of view. Being an infinite being. These are the 3 keys out of the 10. Practice the basic tools, the bigger results will come to you, because that will give you clarity. Commit to the tools. Be the tools. Practice it. And we are talking every Saturday. So next time we'll see where you're stuck, where you're struggling, where you're hitting a wall, and we'll help you move through it. Yeah?
Yeah. Thanks for the contribution that you are being.
Absolutely. Thanks for all of you. Your contributions are tremendous, and I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to put out the YouTube link. Listen to it, and we'll talk next Saturday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you all.
You.
Bye.
Bye-bye.